Hey folks, the housing market right now feels a lot like the upside down. Prices floating, buyers running, Demogorgons named higher interest rates, and chasing people out of the game.
Yeah, except instead of flashlights and baseball bats, today's buyers, they're armed with pre-approvals and credit reports. But don't panic. Today, we're going to help dig down and make sense of this chaos, see where the opportunity lies, and map out a path forward.
Hey Anthony, here's the hard truth. Affordability is at its steepest climb we've ever seen in decades. Median home in prices are at $412,500. Crazy. Price to income ratio 5. The math just doesn't work for most families.
Exactly, Manley. But there are ways to make this sense, especially if it's in the upside down or if it feels like it. So we're going to break this down on what happened, what it means, and more importantly, how to be smart and find a foothold in this market. You do not want to be house poor. How many times do we tell this? Do you want a house on the hill, stop for the talk ramen, or do you want to be able to have some Chipotle in your life? This is where it counts. The market reacts 2 times: when the feds talk about what they're going to do and when they actually do it. And so it's like 2 steps forward and usually 1 step back. It's never 2 steps forward, 1 step forward.
When rates dip, if you're ready, you win. And if not, the door slams shut behind you.
Prices are rising faster than Eleven's nose bleeds when she uses her powers. Humana. AKA, it just costs more to do less. Hopefully you like all the education that you're getting from Manley and I. Do us a favor and smash that like button, subscribe and follow, and tell all your friends and family about us.
Welcome to the Mortgage 101 podcast with Anthony and Manley. Here's what's on deck today. First, we'll start with the Homebuyer Essentials, the steps every buyer should take before jumping in.
Yeah, and then we're going to break down the affordability crunch and why today's borrowers feel like they're climbing off of a cliff.
We're also going to dive into the Fed's latest signals out of Jackson Hole from last week and what likely September rate cuts could look like and mean for mortgage planning.
Yeah, and after that, we're going to give you smarter strategies like understanding the blended debt rate, plus a look at the bond market volatility. The flickering lights buyers need to watch.
We'll wrap it up with buzzwords, breakdown with our guy Ryan, and our Mortgage 101 rate tracker, and a big win story from last week that proves this market isn't impossible.
Yeah, and of course, we're going to close it out with a Stranger Things knock-knock joke. We'll keep it light.
Wait, I thought we canned that part. Before we scare people off with Demogorgons, let's get practical. Homebuyer Essentials. These are the steps we take to keep you from wandering into the upside down club and prepared.
Let's get into it. Number 1, understanding what you can actually spend. It's not just about principal and interest, but you got taxes, insurance, HOA dues, maintenance, a lot of things. A good loan officer is going to help you figure out what fits your lifestyle, not just your max pre-approval. You do not want to be house poor. How many times do we tell this? Do you want a house on the hill, stop for the talk ramen, or do you want to be able to have some Chipotle in your life? This is where it counts.
Absolutely. Number 2, check your credit early. The score drives your loan options. Let me show you how we can do a soft credit pull for you so you can clean up all the errors, pay down the balances, and a word to the wise, don't apply for any shiny new credit cards during the process. It's going to be bad.
Yeah, and let's look at number 3, understanding your loan options. There's a lot of options out there, right? You got FHA, conventional, USDA. Our veterans out there can use VA. It's really all about understanding what options are in front of you and what does that look like on paper. The key is finding what fits your right goals. That's what we're here for.
Number 4, my favorite. Assemble your dream team. A solid loan officer and a great real estate agent are essential. The better the communication, the smoother the deal.
Speaking of smoother, number 5, get your documents in order up front. Do not wait until you find that perfect house and you're going to have to go down the slippery slide of getting your bank statements, your W-2s, your pay stubs, your verifications, your tax returns. Do this up front during the pre-approval process so that way you have smooth sailing and there's no unsettling and scary corners you're having to turn around.
You know how much we like smooth sailing. Number 6, don't skip the inspection. Even if the house looks perfect, you need a pro to check behind the walls and under the roof, tell you what's going on.
Hey, number 7, keep your finances steady. No big moves in a big process. Don't open new credit. Don't switch jobs for sure unless you have to. And you have to make sure that if there's any big deposits, we have to explain them. So try to keep the deposits at a minimum and try to keep the withdrawals at a minimum. So that way there's no unfortunate circumstances down the road.
Number 8, you got to think long term. Will you grow with this home? How's the resale potential? Is the neighborhood trending up or down? These are questions you can talk with your real estate agent or with us.
Yeah, speaking of that, number 9 is all about asking questions. No questions too small. What's included in the house? How old's the roof? What's the utility bill during the summer? These are everything you need to know to make sure you're monetizing your budget correctly. Ask these questions.
And finally, celebrate the win. Buying a home is a huge deal. Don't forget to enjoy the ride.
Absolutely. Bottom line, start with knowledge, move with confidence. Every smart home buyer begins with a plan and a purpose.
Let's layer in today's reality. Home prices have jumped more than 60% in 6 years. That's not a hill. It's a freaking mountain.
Yeah, speaking of that, if you're earning, say, $50,000 a year, congratulations, you have about 8% of the current listings that you can look at. Basically, the bottom of the barrel. Let's tick it up. Middle America making $100,000 a year. That's only 40% of the inventory they have access to. The other 60%, if you're not making over $100,000 a year, you don't have access to it. These are walls that they're running into. If they don't strategize for the short term and the long term, they're going to continue to hit that wall and continue to rent.
Yeah. Hey, I had a client making $95,000 a year, thought they were solidly middle class. Pre-approval came back in, and their options were slimmer than they expected. They said, hey, how is this even possible?
It's possible because the system hasn't been set up for first-time home buyers or middle-income families lately. And that's the problem. We're not looking at a crash. We're looking at a squeeze. But the problem is if these buyers are going to sit on the sidelines and wait for the perfect time, they are going to grow old and get gray, be Gandalf the Gray, and find out, oh my God, I've been sitting here 5 years and the markets went up 20%, and okay, rates have dropped by 1%, but now with the higher purchase price, I'm in the same bucket and I've not pushed down the payment, I've not paid down the principal, I've not earned appreciation, I don't have tax incentives, I'm renting, I'm making my landlord rich, I just saw them put their kids through college, all thanks to my insecurity and fear. Bottom line, strategize.
If you guys are liking all the information you're getting from us, if you're feeling that we're educating you, please smash that like button, subscribe, DM us with any thoughts or ideas for our show, and also tell your friends and family about it. Share us on social if you can. Would love it.
Okay, so here's how we got here. How did we get in this perfect storm? We've got 4 forces colliding right now. Number 1 is the underbuilding of builders after the '08 crash. Builders are pulling back on the permits and they've never caught up. And rather than continuing to build to try to have some runway, they are giving incentives instead. But the problem is it just doesn't follow math. And a lot of buyers don't understand. They see a 4% rate that the builder's giving thinking, hey, that's amazing, but the cost of the house is going up. And they don't understand that they're going to have to refinance that 4% rate because they put minimum down and they're going to lose that 4% rate to maybe a 4.5 or 5. But they put 20,000+ baked into the house. So who ends up the winner? Definitely not the buyer and definitely the builder. That's why with new builds, you don't walk in with as much equity as you do with something that's a year or two old or older. After '08, these builders understood that they're not going to continue building permits or creating permits if the demand's not there. And right now, with these rates, demand is not there.
Number 2, that pandemic demand. Rates dropped into the 2s. Buyers swarmed the market like Hawkins the kids to an arcade, but the supply just could not keep up.
Yeah, I mean, and let's talk about number 3 too, the construction insurance cost. I mean, windows, lumber, appliances, you name it. It's up 4% year over year. You look since 2021, we're talking 30 to 40% higher in cost. That's got to go somewhere, and it's going into the buyers. It's eating into their affordability.
Hey, the next one's the really big one. We call it the golden handcuffs. Millions of homeowners locked in at 3% or less. Why would they trade up to a 7% interest rate or even like a high 6? They're stuck. This is all choking the inventory out like you can't believe it. We need to see something with a 5 handle to reduce that gap and get people to think about letting go of that lower rate and moving in their housing market.
Yeah, I mean, so when we look at this upside down world we're in right now, we got fewer homes, we got higher prices, we got more competition at the entry and mid level, by the way. It's like Hawkins shutting down the town saying, no one's moving, everyone's stuck. We're stuck in the upside down, only we're not stuck. We have to strategize our way out. Instead of flashlights, it's pre-approvals.
What all this means for buyers is survival depends on preparation, not panic, preparation.
All right, so let's talk about inflation, rates, and market reality. Here's the updated landscape. July's PPI came in hot again at just under 1% at 0.9, the biggest monthly rise in 3 years. And that puts pressure on the prices, right, Manley? I mean, we just made heads turn with Powell's tone at Jackson Hole. I hate to say it, but he's now turning a leaf. He's turning a corner. Now, is it too late? Maybe not. I don't know. But it's something we've been needing to hear, and we're on month 8 right now. We should have heard this the first quarter, like by April. He's definitely touting the higher for longer, for sure.
He's shifted. He's no longer maybe. He's made it clear that his September rate cut is very much on the table. Investors bumped their cut odds to roughly 85%. And the top institutions like Barclays, they now expect to see a 25 basis point rate cut. Other people saying maybe 50, 25 is really on the table.
Yeah, exactly. And the market indicators reflected. I mean, just look at the Financial Times. They said there's a 75% chance for that cut of 50 basis points with more easing later that year. So we could see another cut, maybe 25, maybe a total 75 basis points this year. That's what I'm hoping at least. Now, we know how Powell works. And that's the thing that people need to understand is the market reacts 2 times. When the Feds talk about what they're going to do and when they actually do it. And so it's like 2 steps forward and usually 1 step back. It's never 2 steps forward, 1 step forward. Very rarely in the past 18 months. The Fed usually says, this is what we're going to do. And then when they actually do it, it misses the mark. So typically we see 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Time will only tell how they work.
So what's the game plan? Don't sit around waiting for the perfect rates. Have all your docs ready. Have your pre-approval in your own hand and your strategy ready. This is how we win in this window because the window's not always open, but it will likely be soon. Hey, folks, here's one strategy that buyers and homeowners overlook, the blended debt rate. Everyone obsesses over the mortgage rate. I mean, what does that actually mean? But what about your credit cards, your car loan, your HELOC? What are those rates at? It's important.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I had a family with over $20,000 in credit card debt, which was between 20 to 25% in interest. They were making minimum payments of, $1,000 a month, and $750 was going straight towards interest. So looking at that going, hey, with this blended rate, how can we make this make sense for you where we take the house rate and we take your debt rate and we leverage it to where you have an overall blended rate that makes sense. That's where I come in, Manley comes in, a loan officer that looks at math to where we're going to follow it to go, what's going to be the most economic way to go here?
Bottom line is don't chase the shiny numbers. Let the real math tell you what to do. Look at the full picture. What does your monthly payment look like?
All right, let's talk about the market upside down. Let's talk about volatility, Manley. The 10-year Treasury yield is bouncing from around, I believe it was 4.26 last time I checked it. It slipped 7 basis points. Today alone, it slipped another 14 basis points. Did it rally? It didn't rally too much. Translation, the lenders are jittery. They're, fool me once, fool me twice type of Chicken Little. They want to make sure that if they're going to make moves, again, how does the market position themselves on the defense? So if they see a lot of back and forth, they're going to go with the back and not the forth. That's what we're seeing right now, but it is trending in the right direction. I'm liking what I'm seeing.
Hey, Anthony, when lenders get jittery, the credit tightens, more documentation, more scrutiny, no shortcuts, just gets tougher. Pay attention.
Yeah, I mean, this is flickering lights moment from Stranger Things. The signals matter. You need to be ready when the markets open the door because that door could be a sliver of a chance. And if you wait, you've just missed your chance. You're in the upside down forever, AKA you are a renter forever.
Exactly. Don't assume today's rates will hold for tomorrow. Be ready to move and move fast. All right, folks, it's that time again. Buzzword breakdown. And coming out of the control booth is our producer, Ryan.
Gentlemen, thank you. I am Ryan, master of buttons, wrangler of buzzwords, and the only guy here who can stretch a definition into a full TED Talk if you don't answer fast enough.
Yeah, we've learned that the hard way last week, right, Manley?
Yeah. So, Ryan, quick hits only. Throw us the words and let's keep it tight.
All right, the first term for today is affordability crunch. What's the real deal?
Hey, simple. Home prices and rates are squeezing the wallet so tight it feels like a boa constrictor.
Right, all right, good. Next up, golden handcuffs. Why do I keep hearing that?
Yeah, that's when homeowners are stuck in 2% unicorn land, too good to give up, and they stay put, choking inventory. Why would they want to rob Peter to pay Paul when they're going to be moving into a triple the rate, triple the payment, and triple the surprise? Not so fast. That's why they're holding steady.
Got it. Third, blended debt rate. What's the point?
It's not just about your mortgage rate. It's add all your car loan, your credit cards, all those other debts into the whole thing. That's what it is.
Nice. Next one, inflation spike. Make it snappy.
Prices are rising faster than Eleven's nose bleeds when she uses her powers. Humana, humana, humana. AKA, it just costs more to do less.
Oh, geez.
Okay, fair. Last one, volatility window. Why should buyers care?
Well, because it's that blink and you miss it in the moment. When rates dip, if you're ready, you win. And if not, the door slams shut behind you.
And there you have it. Buzzword slain in under 3 minutes, gentlemen. You actually kept me from dragging it out. Hawkins' miracle.
We'll call that a win, everyone.
And we will call that a win.
Hopefully you like all the education that you're getting from Manley and I. Do us a favor and smash that like button, subscribe and follow, and tell all your friends and family about us.
Here we are, folks. It's the Mortgage 101 Rate Tracker Update. Back in January, we forecasted a range of 5.8 to 6.5% with an average of 6.15% year end. That's what we were shooting for.
Absolutely. And here's how it's actually gone month by month so far this year. Month forecast versus actual rate direction. We know that mainly we stated 6.15 is our average mark. That's where we want to see by the end of the year. When we start out in January, we're at 6.65. It was higher. February, 6.73, ticked up even a little slight higher. March, it went up to 6.81, which is the peak so far this year. But after that, it's been sliding down the mountain. April went to 6.74, tick lower. May went to 6.68, another tick lower. June went down to 6.64, tick lower. July, slight tick to 6.71. That's because they were pricing on the defense. Frickin' Powell was slinging around verbiage that wasn't sitting right with the markets. But then come August, we dropped back down to 6.68. Now we see the dip back. It's going to be really interesting over the next 60 months what we see. Could we see us cross the 6.5 threshold? We may see that in the next 6 months.
So far, the year-to-date average is 6.709. Hey, it's above our forecast at 6.15, but the story doesn't end here. It's just a number. It's a movement. After peaking in March, we saw 3 months of easing before a slight rise in July, and now dip back down in August. I think we're moving in the right direction.
100%. And with Powell signaling cuts are likely starting September, we may finally see the forecast track closer and closer by year end. So these next 60 days are going to be pivotal going into this last quarter. Fingers crossed, we see a 6.5.
Think of it like the market stuck between two worlds, not crashing, not soaring, just hovering in the upside down until the next big move. Hey, folks, we're at the big win, a real buyer story. We like to talk about the big wins of the week, and Anthony's got a really good one that he helped save some people where their income changed a little bit during the process. Anthony, take it away. Tell us this great story.
Absolutely. So obviously, we had a client fully vetted. They were supposed to be getting a bonus for this month, but because of inflation, what did the employer do? Cut the bonuses out entirely. So with how we use bonuses, we have to have a 2-year history. And we had a 10-year history up until this year, and now it's gone. So now that's a big chunk of income that got taken away. This should be a dead deal until we start getting creative. So we had to switch it from a full doc to a bank statement loan. Now, they were only wanting to put 10% down. We looked at their real estate and we looked at their stock investment, and we noticed that, hey, this one stock is only making 7.6% the last 5 years. If you put this in a physical asset, you're going to get a lot more than 6.7%. And plus, if they're taking out 30,000, making 7%, just imagine on $1 million home making 10 or 12%, bigger yield. So I was able to show them the math and show them that pulling that money out, being a first-time home buyer, being able to take that money without any early payment withdrawals because it goes to a first home, we were able to switch it and get it back in underwriting, and within 24 hours get it reapproved, no problems at all, save the day, closing on time, and having a lower payment. And when we look at the overall picture, they're saving more money and they're making more money.
Love that. Good job. Love that story. That's where it all comes down to who you're talking to.
That's right. It's about being creative, right? It's not what the situation is, it's how you adapt from it. And we had to adapt. We had to go quickly. That's a big W. Okay, Manley, this brings us to the end of our segment. What did we learn in the upside down? What we've learned is we can't fear the upside down. We have to leverage the upside down. It gives us a looking glass into what could potentially be our future if we stay catatonic. The upside down really is reality. So many people are living in the upside down right now in fear of what's in the corner. And rather than raising a flashlight going, it ain't a monster, it's just a box, they are making decisions off of that. So for our listeners today, make sure you do not live in the upside down, in the upside up. Make sure you are making decisions out of confidence. Make sure you're asking questions. Make sure you're getting prepared, and make sure you're being proactive in all things home ownership. That is the takeaway here. Do not be afraid of the upside down. Embrace it.
Love it, Anthony. Be prepared. Do your homework. Talk to a lender like us. Let things happen. Do not sit in fear and get in that deer in the headlights, which I always like to bring that back. Somebody will throw up a deer in the headlights thing, and the deer that's about to get run over by a car. But yeah, that's perfect. Hey, folks, we appreciate you looking out for us here, watching our show, listening to our show, whatever you're doing. We would love it if you would click that like button, subscribe, give us a comment, send us something, a DM, something like that. Tell us what you'd like to see or what you don't like about what we're doing. We're hoping to help you guys and get you more educated on the home mortgage process.
Yeah, tell us what your fears are. Tell us what your upside down is. What Demogorgons have you been running into? Has it been affordability? Has it been scarcity? Has it been demand? Has it been the fear of the unknown? What is your Demogorgon right now keeping you in that upside down state? That way we can help. We can give some clarity. And more importantly, we can shed some light on that darkness that you're in right now to get you into that home.
Well said, Anthony. Thanks for listening, folks. If this episode helped you feel more confident about your home buying journey, do us a favor. Share it with a friend, subscribe, leave a review, and if you've got a question or a topic you want us to cover, hit us up with a DM or a comment. Thanks for listening to the Mortgage 101 podcast. We'll see you next time.
Hey, Manley.
Yeah. What?
Knock, knock.
We've had this conversation, Anthony. Not a fan.
Here, let me change this. Knock, knock.
Oh, boy. Getting even funner. Who's there, Anthony?
11.
11 who?
11 out of 10 buyers regret waiting for the perfect rate.
Jesus. That is good. That is good.